Hello and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 14th of March. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect, but please stay with me because I then will dive deep into each of the 12 zodiac signs and give you in forensic detail an idea of what to expect. Now, the sign of Pisces is very much the end of the astral journey. And next week, the Sun is going to be moving through the vernal point and we start through the spring equinox, the new astral year. So collectively, I think for a lot of us, this week particularly, is a time to really get in touch with our deeper feelings. And that could see us feeling a little bit nostalgic. We may want to withdraw a little bit and find some peace and tranquility. Any place that's near to nature or water can be particularly healing. Now, of course, Mercury moved into the sign of Pisces last week too. Technically debilitated, but brilliant if you want to write a song, share your feelings through a poem, or just think of the creative strands that help you to express the corners of your feelings, which are much less based on the practical sphere. But we do have on Friday a full moon in the practical Virgo. So that full moon asks us to balance the energy of the new moon that occurred earlier this month, which of course embraced the buoyancy of Jupiter, to find a balance between those more ethereal energies of Pisces and the more practical reality of Virgo. So if you do find yourself feeling that you want to be in a much more spiritual or healing dimension, I think your timing is impeccable this week. But the Virgo energy is saying to try and integrate it into the more physical way that you're leading your life. So if escapism really appeals to you this week, that full moon is saying important to consider issues like nutrition, exercise, life organization, and just making sure that we see tangible progress. So we can all float off a little bit with this Pisces energy, but that can make it all the more evocative. Now, on the back of that full moon, Pluto from the middle of this week is angling into the Sun, but it's in a very positive way, in a sextile. The Sun sextiling Pluto can see internal changes or physical changes in our reality. A sextile 60 degrees constructive. But also from the middle of the week, the glorious alliance between Venus and Mars, fantastic for socializing, that comes into an abrasive right angle with Uranus, the planet of truth, but also of freedom. And the freedom fighter is now in a sign, or has been for some while, that it's not so comfortable in, the sign of Uranus. Now, of course, world peace has been shattered recently. The last time Uranus was in Taurus began in 1937, I think. And of course, that followed with the Second World War. So a lot of turbulence in the world. And I think next week, after the vernal equinox, Mars does come into an exact square with Uranus, which can be testing, particularly in terms of very sudden, unexpected, and very sort of forceful events are possible. But in our own situation, the combination of Venus and Mars in Aquarius is very much about our higher values. And Uranus rules the sign of Aquarius, so there is a kind of, it's the modern ruler, so there's a kind of receptiveness. So when it comes to our financial affairs, which is the physical plane of Taurus, I think it's best not to be too idealistic. So for example, if a friend, very Aquarius, suggests getting involved in some kind of get-rich-quick scheme and you feel the impulse to join in, I'd just slow down, because Uranus squaring Venus and Mars can make us very sudden in our movements, much more impulsive. But equally, we may be drawn to someone in our group that we find very attractive, and this could happen in quite a sudden way, or we may, in a romantic relationship, want to engender greater excitement and spontaneity in it. So things have been getting a little bit too dull and predictable. A great time to try to inject a little bit of devilment into the situation by doing something together which just creates a little bit of excitement and can reignite the spark that you had when you first met. So that's the overall pattern for us all. If you are new to my channel, I would be delighted if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see the link below. And you can get your 12-month forecast and character analysis based on your personal astrology, time, date and place of birth, and ascend above this Zodiac broadcast by seeing the link below and get 30% off with my special offer package. Hello Libra, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 14th. The collection of energy in your 6th house, although it's Pisces, which can be dreamy and drifty, for you has a kind of Virgo resonance. So it's about the basic structures in your life. It is about how efficiently things work or not work. And it can be about where we're of service to others. It can be about our physical vitality, nutrition, our diet, our exercise, and all those areas are given an enormous boost this week by this stellium of energy in this area. But of course, we have a full moon on Friday in the sign of Virgo, which is tucked up just behind your sign, your 12th house, which is much more psychological. And there's kind of a reversed energy here, because Pisces generally, for most of us as a collective, is very much to do with spiritual, psychological and emotional issues, whereas Virgo very much to do with the reality, tangible results and precision. But for you, in your sign, this full moon in Virgo is about those more psychological issues. So if you're spending a lot of time making sure that your life is running very smoothly, cleanly, hygienically, but not really embracing the more feeling side of your existence, that's what the full moon is asking you to look at. Also, of course, this full moon is informed by the transformative energies of Pluto. Yes, Pluto, your bête noire since 2008. But I actually think that Pluto can be a force for good this week. So something can transform if you're working too hard, not getting enough rest, not getting enough time to recharge your batteries. Pluto's saying to you, retreat to your home, retreat to the place where you can find some peace and tranquility and enjoy some of the things that are more pleasant and interactive with others. And that part of your scope is actually highlighted in a very positive way by your ruler Venus's conjunction with Mars. Now, if you are footloose and fancy free, you could encounter someone this week in a very practical or mundane situation, such as that supermarket queue or at work, who you do kind of forge some kind of rapport with, because Venus and Mars are really heightening your sex appeal at the moment, and that's something to really behold. But in an ongoing relationship, if you feel that you're the one doing all the giving, all the sacrificing, and your other half is not really showing the same commitment, the fact that Uranus, the planet of freedom, is agitating with Venus and Mars from the middle of this week suggests that you may start to feel that maybe this isn't working for you. And Uranus can be about escape from situations which see us pinned down, limited and frustrated. And you need to feel a sense of joy at the base of your existence. And although this particular week is very focused on those practicalities, from next week, when the sun moves into the sign of Aries, it's all about relationships. So a relationship that isn't working quite as you want, doesn't have to be a romantic one, is definitely going to come into focus over the next 7 days.